In this video, I will demonstrate the Breadsling and how I use it to bake artisan bread in a cast iron Dutch oven. Hi, I'm Ron and thanks for clicking on this video. I bake 2 loaves of artisan bread daily in my home kitchen, and recently I purchased a Breadsling, which is a handy item that helps me get the dough in and out of the Dutch oven. Let me demonstrate. Here is some dough that I mixed yesterday and has been sitting in the fridge overnight. It's now the following day and time to bake. I begin by loosening the dough a little bit in the banneton so it will easily release when I flip it over. And here's the bread sling. Flip it over and out comes the dough. By the way, this is the very first time I've used this bread sling. And now I'm scoring the dough. Looks like I need a new razor blade, but we'll get the job done. Okay, let me set this aside and I'll get the Dutch oven that's been sitting in the oven at 450 degrees for the last half hour. And easily place the dough in there, put the lid back on, and off the oven to the oven it goes for 30 minutes. Here's another batch of dough. Again, I'm going to loosen it from the banneton. And this time I'm going to use parchment paper, which is what I've always done in the past for several years, just to compare the two methods. Again, my dull razor blade to score the dough, and move it out of the way, and I'll go get the other Dutch oven. Okay, off to the oven it goes. Okay, the bread has been baking for 30 minutes in the Dutch oven. It's time to remove the bread and put it back in the oven by itself for 15 more minutes. And with the bread sling it comes out quite easily. Here's the one with the parchment paper. So when I get it out, I use a spatula to bring it out and put the dough back in the oven for another 15 minutes by itself. Here's a pot with a dome lid and a flat base. A different way to bake bread, which I've used from time to time. It's easy to lay the bread sling in. You can accomplish the same thing using my pot by just simply baking with it upside down, and some people do that, although I prefer to use the cast iron Dutch oven right side up. Here's the bread that I just finished baking, one with parchment paper and one with the bread sling. The end result is the same. I do think it's a little easier to use the bread sling to get the dough in and out of the Dutch oven, and I'm going to continue to use it. I normally bake 2 loaves each day, but today I'm actually baking 4 to demonstrate the bread sling and parchment paper using oblong-shaped dough. So let's see how it does. Again, loosening the dough from the banneton. Okay. And a little off center. I was going to try to move it back to the center, but it doesn't want to move, so I'll just score it like that and put it in the Dutch oven. Okay, here's our Dutch oven, which has been in the oven heating at 450 degrees. And easily place the dough in there and the lid back on, and off to the oven it goes. And here's another batch of dough. Again, loosen it from the banneton. And using parchment paper. Sometimes it sticks a little bit. You have to put your fingers in there to pry it away. Score it as before. Into another hot Dutch oven and into the oven 450 degrees for 30 minutes. Okay, it's been 30 minutes. Let's see how it looks. Well, the bread is certainly beautiful and easily removed. Here's the Dutch oven with parchment paper. When I take it out of using parchment paper, I have to use a spatula to dig the bread out and return it to the oven for 15 more minutes. Although you can buy a single bread sling, when I made my purchase I actually bought a kit consisting of 2 bread slings and a scoring tool with extra razor blades. If you do decide to purchase a bread sling, I think you won't be disappointed. I certainly enjoy mine, and thanks again for watching.